We're making gorgeous bakery-style blackberry muffins with oat flour and an oat crumble on top. They're light and fluffy with a little lemon and fresh blackberries and have a gluten-free flour option. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier recipes to our favorite foods, then you are in the right place. To make these really easy muffins, we're going to start with a large mixing bowl, and I've just added 3 eggs to my bowl. Now you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below, and that will take you to the full recipe with all the details, including ingredients and substitutions, nutrition facts, and frequently asked questions. Next, we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of cane sugar, but you can use regular sugar if you like. And for some delicious creaminess and moisture, we're going to add 1/3 cup of either Greek yogurt or sour cream, 1/3 cup of avocado oil, or you could use light olive oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now to complement that blackberry flavor, we're going to add a little bit of lemon. Now we want to add just a little bit of juice, but we want to add lemon zest because that's where we get the most flavor. So I'm going to start by zesting the outside of a lemon. Now it is much easier to zest the lemon before you slice it and juice it. So next we can slice our lemon in half. And then I'll just use my juicer to quickly juice it down into a bowl. And then I'll add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice and about 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. Now we're just going to whisk this together till well combined. Now to bring in that delicious oat flavor and have muffins that are nice and spongy, we're going to use oat flour. Now you can use store-bought oat flour, or you can easily grind your own. All you have to do is take old-fashioned oats or quick oats, put them into your blender or your food processor for about maybe 30 seconds, and you will have a perfectly fine flour. So I'm going to add 1 cup of oat flour that I just ground up in my blender. Next, we're going to add either 1 cup of all-purpose flour, or you can use 1 1/3 cups of a gluten-free flour blend. This is my favorite gluten-free flour because I found it to be the least sandy in texture, and it doesn't have xanthan gum. And that gives me the option of adding the gum if I want to use it. So I'm adding 1 1/3 cups of the gluten-free flour. Next, we're going to add 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now we'll just mix this together till well combined. And then we have this beautiful, thick, incredibly smelling batter. And you'll know it's the right consistency when the batter kind of creates these lumps when it's dropped on itself. So if it's too runny, you can add in a little bit more flour, and if it's too thick, you could pour in just a little bit of milk. Now for the blackberries, you could use either fresh or frozen. I like to take the frozen blackberries and then cut them down into smaller little pieces. And not only does that help that gorgeous color bleed throughout the batter, but I think it's a little more enjoyable having the smaller bites. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of blackberries, and these are frozen. But then I also have about 1/4 cup of blackberries that I've chopped up that I'm going to use to put on top of the muffins. So I'm just going to set these aside. So then I'll just gently fold these blackberries into the batter. And as you stir it, you can see that really gorgeous purple color spreading throughout your batter. Now you can bake the muffins as is, or you can add this really delicious and easy oat crumble on top. So I'm just going to start with 1/4 cup of these old-fashioned oats because it makes it really nice and chunky. Next I'll add 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter, 2 tablespoons of cane sugar, 2 tablespoons of oat flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon vanilla. Then I'll just quickly mash this all together with a fork. Now to assemble our muffins, I've just taken my muffin tray and lined it with some paper liners. Now if you are using paper liners, I recommend spraying it first with a little bit of nonstick to make sure they'll come off the muffins. So I'm just going to go through and give a real light spray. If you're using parchment paper liners, you can skip this step. Now I'm just going to take my 1/3 cup batter scoop and start scooping the batter down into the muffin cups. And you'll want to fill them almost to the top and allow it to mound up in the center. Oh, I love seeing those gorgeous chunks of blackberries. Now that all the cups are filled, we can add our blackberries and crumble to the top. So I'm going to start by adding just a few blackberries to the top of each of the muffins. And then I'll go in with just a little handful of the crumble and spread that on top. And I'll kind of push it in around those blackberries. And I'll come back in with just a few more little blackberry seeds and pieces to put right on top of that crumble, just to make sure we get that gorgeous purple color. Ready to go into a 350-degree oven for anywhere between about 25 to 29 minutes, or until the tops start to turn a nice golden brown. Well, here are the muffins out of the oven, and they are gorgeous. Now you will want to let this cool on your counter until you can take them out of the pan. But I have some I made earlier that I can sample right now. That is delicious. As soon as you bite in, you get that perfect spongy, moist texture. And then you have incredible flavor coming in from that hint of lemon and the blackberries. And I love the depth of flavor that comes in with the oat flour, as well as having those oats and that crumble on top. And I love that they're made with clean, natural ingredients. And if you could use more healthy inspiration on a regular basis, I invite you to join my email list. All you have to do is click on the link in the description below, and that is the best way for us to stay connected. And I want to thank you for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included the link to this full recipe in the video description, and that will take you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you join me again in my kitchen.